coming to you live from the largest British prison in the known universe. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day, welcome to the 210th episode of this shit. Why are you still here? I don't know. Matt, why are we still here? Because we love Destiny. Isn't that right? Isn't it?
It's pretty surprising how long I've done a podcast and weekly YouTube uploads when I never really played the game.
Yeah, now you are. And it's scary. Who knows what's going to happen? I know.
Mate, I did trials this morning.
You played
Picked
fucking...
up
right? Did you get the hammer?
Picked up a hammer.
What'd you get on it? What'd you get on it?
What'd I get on it, chat? It wasn't godly, but it wasn't bad.
Okay, so a
I want to say it had
hammer.
It had killing wind.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it had killing wind and moving target, and stability masterwork.
Yeah, I got a
with a ricochet with Rick rounds.
I got quick draw moving target last week, and it's pretty. I mean, the gun itself is a fucking stat monster anyway. It's very strong, irrespective of what you get on it. So anyway, we'll talk about that shit in a little while because we'll talk about trials and whatever. But did you have fun? Most importantly, what else have you been doing? Because you've been doing this I've seen every time I load up your stream, you're in prophecy. What's to do with prophecy?
Well, I'm trying to solo it.
Just what? 100% solo it.
Yeah, I've got to last encounter solo.
Flawless? Without dying?
No, not flawless.
Oh, okay.
Not flawless.
Okay.
Today I did the first section flawless, first shot.
Okay.
I got to the second encounter straight away. I probably could, at the moment, I reckon I could probably do first and second encounter flawless solo. I'm having a lot of trouble with it with the final boss. I don't have anarchy, and I'm really struggling with the DPS and the whole space. But
you mean the big phalanx prick that's on the little island in the middle of nowhere? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about the final boss where he like teleports away and you got to keep up with him.
Oh, that right. Okay, sorry. I thought
and hit the hobgoblins.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not something I've revisited, and like, I mean, my slack as fuck approach to leveling this season. I know that prophecy is something that I could have done to get gear.
You get pinnacles.
I know,
you get pinnacles,
but I've just not bothered because I'm just a slacker. So it's something that I'm going to do. But I mean, tonight I'm going to run trials on all three characters because I want to try and get as many hammers as I can.
The hand cannon, man.
I was like last week because I mean we played Saturday night Aussie time before they decided to shut trials off again, right? and had like, I think we got to 5 wins without taking a loss, which, you know, for us middling gamers, you know, just dads on the weekend, it's a pretty good run for us. And then it was sort of like, you know, we didn't end up getting flawless or anything like that, so we kind of hit the brick wall at that point. But it felt like trials had turned a bit of a corner, and then I wake up the next morning and it's like, oh, we've disabled it again. Because
so the first, I guarantee you have the same experience when you do this.
Yep.
Our 0 to 3 wins were all like great games. Just just the dads were out in force this morning, just having fun. Trials. Post 3 wins,
sweat lords.
We just got absolutely fucking stomped every single round. Just like instant too.
That's the usual experience for us too. I think like we can normally muddle our way to 3 wins without too much drama, and then sort of piss off and do something else. But last week that was 5 wins, and we kind of got to that mark again on a subsequent card because we were just farming tokens. But you know, that was how I got the hammer last week, and man, I don't know, I love that gun. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I think I'm annoying the shit out of everyone that we know, like the boys that we have in the chat. Just, what should I run with? She was just like, shut the fuck up, log. It's just a hand cannon. And now it's the 3-win thing this week, and now I'm fucking into it again. I mean, yeah, there's a kind of a ghost toy.
My issue is I don't really have anything to run as my like primary slot.
I mean, what they've done, I think what they've done with the Astral Horizon is criminal because they've taken quick draw off it. So you can't get it to drop now with quick draw where you could in seasons past. And like that is the shotgun for mine. Like I've got a couple of really gnarly rolls. And I use that. But I don't know. Yeah, there's no clear pick for even an exotic special that you'd put in your primary slot. You know what I mean? Like there's. I mean, I gave Witherhor a bit of a shot just for like, I guess utility, like to be block and be shit with it. Yeah, but didn't work. Apparently, it's really it's really strong in the Grandmaster, which we can talk about in a little bit. We'll preface our discussion about Grandmasters with the fact that neither Matt or I have put in enough effort to be at level to do Grandmasters the first week. Wow. So we'll be living vicariously through our friends and stuff that have done it and talking about it in a passing sense. So don't tune in for any fucking hot takes on Grandmasters at the moment. Maybe come back at the back end of the season when all the slack fucks catch up because that's where we're at.
Yeah, you know what I noticed? Like interesting thing with Grandmasters, people like offering Grandmaster help, but the only people who can get in are people who are actually good at the game, like not good at the game, but people who put a lot of time in
at level. Yeah.
So like they're typically not the people that need help.
I don't know. You know that meme. So you've been playing Destiny for 6 years. Yes.
You must be good.
You must be good at the game. I think
I'm in that boat. I'm well in that boat.
I don't know. You're getting better. I reckon I've said this to you for forever that you're probably inherently better than me. You just need to fucking work at it, and I think you'll get there. But I mean, I'll never admit it. So whatever. Why are you are so confused looking at that biscuit?
There was something on it, and I was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "I'll just wipe it off and eat it anyway."
What was it?
I don't know.
Just dirt or mold or something?
Oh, like Matt, a black speck.
What's this I hear about you refusing to go for Unbroken?
In comp?
Yeah. Why won't you do it? What are you scared of?
Because it means I need to play with one of you fuckwits.
Is that what you're scared of? Social interaction? That's probably the most relatable thing you've ever said, to be perfectly honest. Going from the kind of guy who doesn't like going down the fish and chip shop and ordering in person, I really relate to that. You know, you used to be able to get up on stage in front of hundreds of people and, you know, talk shit. Now I can't pick up the phone and order fish and chips for no reason, you know, anyway.
I actually do like comp. I do like comp. Yeah. I never really thought about it as being a something I'd do regularly. I think at the moment, I think I would enjoy it. I do want to get to Grandmasters, so I'm sort of holding back a little bit. But I guess that would level me too, right? Doing comp.
Yeah, I mean, every rank refresh you'll get a level. But look, we've skipped over the traditional. What have you done this week? What have you done this week? What did you do? I saw your tweet this morning. It looks like we're in the final phase of the might finally get done.
I had a breakdown last week. I had a proper breakdown last week. I was just like, I sent an email to my supervisors and just said, I'm angry every day.
Yeah.
Because I got another article back, another bit of feedback, and it was just torn to shreds again. And the thing is, like, I know it doesn't look like it because I talk like a year five. I talk year 5 English, no good. I actually write pretty well, okay? So in general, so it's not trash.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people just want things written their way.
Yeah. And
it's like all this extra work, and it's like, you know what? I think I had it better the first time round. And then, you know, go research more, research this, do more. Yeah, I was like, I've been doing this shit for 4 fucking years and I give 0 fucks anymore. So anyway, I let them know that I give 0 fucks. I got through it anyway. I got through a whole chunk of it, and they basically just said, look, it's probably pretty good to go. Don't worry about too many more edits. Like start just prepping it now and make sure your format's all right and your references are all right and tidy it up.
You're there.
So this week will be that, I think.
Fucking hell, I hope that I hope there's no issues. Oh, dude, I feel for you.
I know, I haven't got excited yet because I'm like, don't do this to me, people. Don't do this again.
It's there's such a track history there of like you jumping through the hoop and then the hoop magically appearing in front of you again. So, I'm hoping that it pans out. I think you're fucking due. You're due for a bloody your luck to change. So let's go for that. But that's good.
So I got angry at chat a lot this week because I was angry in general.
Can you clarify how that differs from other weeks or?
Oh, not comical angry, just like generally angry, I guess.
Yeah, I think you and I had a conversation midweek, and it was. I sort of thought, oh, it must. I haven't been around all that much your stuff anyway because I've been working my ass off, which is fucking another story. But yeah. Oh well, good. We'll report back. What have you been doing? I
might be a free man next week.
Yeah, I know, and it finally.
You think I'm batshit now? You fucking wait until this is my only job. You wait. Fucking strap in, kids. I'll burn the world down.
Gonna go hard. I'm for it. I think you've earned it. I think if anyone has ever earned the right to just go fucking spare for a few months, it's you. I want to see Mylan turning up to streams in a grubby dressing gown. Not really giving a fuck about much else. Drinking mojitos at 7 a.m. just off the rails.
We are going to have a week of teapot mojitos, and I start streaming at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, like,
what a mess. I'm for it. That's the kind of thing I'd contribute to. No, I haven't been up to much. I half popped my shoulder again on Thursday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Didn't go all the way out.
Doing what? Having a wank.
Yeah, of course. No, I picked up something at work, and it was heavier at one end than I thought it was, and it kind of like pulled me weird. And I let it go in time for it to, not just rip my fucking arm out of the socket. But yeah, I'm not feeling real great at the moment.
You report it?
Yeah. It's one of those things, but
workers come.
Look, yeah. I mean, I don't want to really go down that path, given that I know and everyone knows that it's a footy injury that I've had for fucking a decade and a half at this point. But if it had gone all the way out, I probably would have had to take it a bit more seriously. But I just shoved it back in against the wall, which I know is probably not the fuck. I've done it about 8 times before, so yeah, it's all right at the moment. It's just
it's pretty loose.
Yeah, it is. It's I don't know. I can't remember. It was Nick I was talking to about how fucking inherently shit shoulder joints are. Like, they're the most garbage joint in your body by far. There is nothing.
You want me to educate you a little bit about shoulder joints?
Yeah, tell me about shoulder joints just so I know how fucking. I mean, you've been through it. How long ago? It was only 2 months ago that you did yours, right?
No, it's a bit longer than that now. But yeah, I've dislocated. I've had 2 or 3 operations on my right.
Yep.
From dislocations, and my good shoulder, my left shoulder, came out at jiu-jitsu probably 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer, maybe a year now. I don't know. Maybe not a year. I don't know.
It wasn't that long
a while ago.
Anyway. Right.
Cool.
Time is a construct.
But the reason why you dislocate them, shoulder joints have great mobility. You increase the mobility, you're going to get decreased stability. That's why you dislocate them, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're a fuck joint. Because you can go in all fucking, look at the angles, mate.
Now you're just mocking me because I basically got like that.
Yeah,
and any higher than that, I start to
do this.
Oh,
do this. You can't, can you?
I can get to like there, and then it starts feeling really like I could. If I just went really hard, it'd go out straight again. So I don't know. Maybe we'll make that a sub reward. If we hit 100 subs through the course of this podcast, I will dislocate my arm on stream.
Wait, so did you go full? Was it Mel Gibson? You go full not Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah, Lethal Weapon.
Not
Yeah,
Mel
what's his name?
Gibson.
Yeah, it was Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. He puts his up against the locker. There was no lockers.
Oh, I was
sadly.
thinking of Top Gun guy. Sorry, mate.
Anyway, look at you spare unit. Yeah, no, I mean, look, it didn't come all the way out, so I know all I needed to do was put a tiny bit of pressure on it and it went back in, but it's just sore now and it's just annoying. So I don't know. I'm at the point in my life where I'm
what
like,
was
well,
your resilience at?
it was obviously too low. It was obviously, look, but recovery was high enough. Intellect, duck eggs.
Taking the mobility off. Tom
Duck
Cruise.
eggs.
I don't know why I couldn't think of Tom Cruise's name before. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Zero intellect because I picked up something like a dumbass to begin with.
Zero intellect.
Yeah,
All right. From now on, you have to report. You have to report your workplace injuries by fucking using
Destiny
stats from Destiny. I had zero discipline, zero intellect, high mobility.
Yeah, to a point that it fucked me. Yeah, dude. It's anyway. That's been my week, and it's I don't know. It's getting better now. I mean, I went and did swimming lessons with the kids and stuff this morning. That was what I used to do ironically, that was what I used to do to strengthen it. Was go and just
good.
swim.
Swimming's really good.
Was that, and I haven't done it for a few years now, and it's like, okay, I'm becoming a pissant again. I probably need to start taking some more responsibility of it. So there's that. Log using the charge with testosterone mod minus 10 to intellect. So I was actually at minus 10 intellect, not 0. Yeah, I can pick this up. And look, yeah, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, I feel like this is now going to be like evidence in court in a year's time. Anyone from work listening to this, yeah, look, I'm serious. I'm the first aider too. Like I am my department's first aider. So, like, what an idiot. Who's gonna help me? No one. Me. That's it.
Oh,
fucking moron. All right, well, what we might do is talk about a little bit of news and then a little bit of the TWAB. And then we'll get back into just talking shit, shooting the shit. You got any lore this week, Matt? You've been very slack on the lore front. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I've had complaints. Just people are worried about you.
I've gone off. People can see I'm well off the rails, don't they?
We don't. Like, they don't even care if you shout the lore at them at this point. They just feel like they want some of something.
Well, anyway. I'm not making a video this week because.
Yo, you've got fucking PhD for God's sake! Like,
yeah, and last weekend I Raid Shadow. I had to do the Raid Shadow Legend sponsor, so I worked all Sunday to get another video out, start to finish. I'm not doing it again. I need this weekend off, so there's no video this week.
You fucking
last weekend I did Dead Man's Tale. Did we speak about that? No, because I would have done it on Sunday.
No, we didn't, and that was the thing.
Yes,
that we've been
I wrote
like
the fucking entire thing, recorded everything on Sunday. Sassy got the footage for me.
What a good boy he is. He's such a good boy.
We've got a whole Dead Man's Tale, which is the entire story of the exotic quest for.
Let's do
Gun
that.
of Set.
We'll get into that at the back end, and we'll have a chow down on some juicy tidbits of lore. But it's time to hit the sting and get into actual fucking news instead of talking shit. Yeah. Now, the big news this week, there was a tweet that came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about the ANZ Strike Marathon Challenge. Now, Matt's not a part of this, namely because he only streams at the exact opposite end of the clock than everyone else. And he's, I don't know, I assume that he's charging too much by the hour.
Excuse me. I was asked, but I said no because you guys can't. No, because
you're actually going to take the can't compete angle because, like, some of the teams that are in this thing are fucking horrifying.
I know I can't compete. You can't afford me, motherfuckers. Wow. Excuse me. No, it wasn't that. Because that's this week, right?
Yes.
So yeah, to last week of my PhD, I'm like, I cannot commit to anything. I don't know if I'm gonna be in burn the world down, burn my house down, throw my car off. I didn't know what mindset I'd be in. So
Yeah, and that's more than understandable, but it's a big thing, and I'm looking forward to it because more importantly than the activity itself, it has opened up my favorite thing in Destiny and in life in general, and that is sledging and shit talking. I've been memeing on Sassy. It's been great. What I might do, I might run through the teams because it's like some of them are good. I'm pretty chuffed with mine.
Why don't you explain what the event is first, mate?
Well, it's a strike marathon. We're going to get together, and there's a list of challenges and stuff that we need to get in. Like, look, it's going to be announced then. It's activities. It's a race.
But there's teams competing,
and there's teams of
strike
3
missions
competing
with certain challenges.
Yes.
To get points.
Yes. It's all timed, and it's like a race and all of that sort of stuff. So
And what do you get if you win? Glory.
Street cred, I think. I'm not sure. I don't care. I don't know. You get the ability to mock everyone else because that's the most valuable part of this, right? That's it. You get to.
This is like a nerd's version of like street fights. You know, you don't get anything. You just go in for a punch up.
Yeah, you end up battered, bruised, and I mean, Fez is making a 4K resolution Microsoft Paint belt. So look, it's definitely the most esteemed thing I've ever been involved in. That's for sure. So I'm really looking forward to it, and there's a lot of banter to be had around it, and that's basically my angle. I'm just going to yell and carry on and make a spectacle out of it. Because looking at some of these teams, they are terrifyingly adept at the game, and like I'm by far and away the worst person on my team. So we'll quickly.
Yeah, but they're also strike missions, so you know you could be there.
I know. I'm. My first instinct was like, how do I play a support class? All right, we'll go through it. We'll read out the teams because there's quite a few, but it's good. It's good. We need to do it right. So we've got the first team up. There's a few names that if you've been around the podcast, you should know quite a few of these people, right? Shax's Stallions, the first team. AC, Dom the Demon, and Senchi Boy. Right?
Okay.
Ikora's Incorrigibles, my favorite team name, by the way, whoever thought that up, genius, is our good friend Aura, Stacked, and Tamsin. Zavala's Zoomers, Colossus, Speaks, who taught me everything I know about running strikes effectively, and World Third Raider, Fami. So a very strong team there.
Fami?
Fami, yep.
Where's Fami been, mate?
I mean, I assume that he's been working and stuff and just living a happy, fulfilling life. I don't know. I mean, I've got GPS.
I haven't been able to see his stream. Has he been streaming?
I think he's been quiet, but he's back. He's definitely back because he was the one who requested the 4K belt when he wins this, so he's pretty confident. So, we'll see how it goes. Look, it's been one of those seasons in Destiny where everyone's been out and trying their own stuff and doing their.
He's got a job.
Well, we've got jobs. That's no excuse.
I don't have a job.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You've just got a doctorate, no job. What an idiot. What a fucking nitwit. You're the most highly qualified bludger of all time.
Highly qualified bludger.
Well, it's true. Anyway, go and make a YouTube video. No one cares. Banshees, Bulldogs, Terra, Alpha Wolfpaw, and Butters. That is a fucking stacked team. If ever I saw one, they're going to be very competitive. Drifters, Dregs. The people's champions, Drifters Dregs, Log Power Slave.
Of course it's you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
of course it's you.
I don't know. I feel like Fez said to me all the teams are randomly generated, and I believe that, but I don't believe the names were randomly generated. I feel like I was on Team Dreg from get-go no matter what. But I am joined by One Chance and Soto that we had on. He and Terra obviously got the world's first for Deepstone Crypt, so
I'm just them on your team.
Yeah, I'm fucking yodering in the backpack. Like, fucking. Yep, it's going to be good. So, look, I'm just dedicated. We're going to get together on Monday night. I'm not sure whether any of the other teams are taking it this seriously, but we're going to get together on Monday night. I'll probably be streaming. I'm sure they'll be streaming as well. So I'll fire out the links, and we're going to work out how we're going to respond to.
So when are we watching this? When's the actual thing?
Wednesday. It's Wednesday night at
Australian time.
Yep, Australian time from 8 p.m. onwards. So
it'll be morning Wednesday for the US guys.
yeah, it'll be very, very early morning.
Well,
You don't reckon? It's 8 p.m. It's
Yeah.
like, I normally get people at the back end of my stream saying I just woke up. So that's how I know how early it is. All right, Saint 14 Superstars. Ain't. Well, obviously we love it. We love Ain't Pro. KB and Shez. Solid. I mean, that's definitely like the nicest team in terms of the people on it. They're all absolute legends. And last and certainly most least, Keidel's Catastrophes. They were initially named after Cade, but requested that their name was changed for fear of accidentally becoming the Hunter Vanguards through the course of this event. So
Vanguard there.
Sassy the Pineapple Boy, who look, he's the sole reason why I'm shitting on this team, because Classy and Dookie are good eggs. So that's their team. I've been like they're our enemies in this. I just want to pick on Sass. So it's nothing personal for the other pair, but I'm going hard after that team, as hard as I can. Anyway, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's been a little while since we've managed to do something for fans and bring the community together a bit. And I'm hoping that there's whispers around that we might be able to add a few more teams of people that want to get involved too. So if that's the case, that'll be unreal. If not, then this is something that we'll definitely, hopefully, be doing a hell of a lot more of going forward. So exciting times. I look forward to winning my 4K belt and getting on with it. It's going to be great. Wildcard teams. We'll find out on Monday if we can enter wildcard teams. All right. Well, sweet. Keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in that. Good.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's jump into the TWAB and have a bit of a talk about that. This week, Grandmasters have begun. As I said straight off the bat, Matt and I haven't done any because we're both lazy and kind of just I don't know. I'm so glad that this isn't gonna be something that we need to be all over in seasons going forward. The leveling process. I'm glad that they've ripped the guts out of it to an extent, because it means that we'll be able to just jump in, do what we want, and still be able to jump into end game stuff like this. So it's great, but it is on Sepix, and like I don't know why, but Sepix was like oil and water. I couldn't get that strike in the playlist whatsoever. It took me up until 2 days ago to actually like bump into that strike in the playlist.
Yeah,
so
same.
I've finally done it, but it's cool. I don't know. It feels familiar. It's good fun. So I imagine going in and doing it in a Grandmaster sense it'd be pretty challenging, because there's a lot of sort of like constrained rooms where you're facing a hell of a lot of enemies that'll absolutely whack the shit out of you if you're not careful. But especially the tank.
What light are you at, and when can we expect to see us in there?
I reckon realistically I could probably have a crack at one next weekend. I'm at about 318-ish. So if I keep like
13,
grinding
18.
away, yeah, I should be able to get there next week. So it's more through artifact than anything else.
I just
You get there. Look, but the good thing about Grandmasters is that at the back end of the season, there are weeks where they're all available, so you can jump in and do them all, and you don't miss out. So I think
because there's mods and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, dude, there's the fucking Swarm, the D1 LMG is back, and there is adept weapons akin to the adept weapons from Trials that are now in Grandmaster Nightfalls. So definitely worth a look if you're heavily into your guns and you want to go in and chase loot. Fuck yeah, I think it's good. I think like the old reason to do it was to get upgrade materials and potentially exotics. This is another carrot on top of that again. Like I'm genuinely pissed off because I use LMGs. I know that they're probably not the meta anymore, but I do. I would fucking use that gun. So when it comes back around, and as soon as I can get into Sepix, I'll be doing it. So it looks good. We'll open the chat at the end. If you've been through the GM, we can talk about that. But we'll stay on target for now so that we can get through and talk a little bit of lore. Iron Banner with bonus Valor will be returning on the 23rd of March. So next week reset. Looking forward to that. Iron Banner is always fun. I know it's one of those things that's always met with mixed reaction.
Just
but
get the pinnacles, mate.
Yeah,
Pinnacles,
exactly.
baby.
That's what I was leading into it. It's, you know, I'll get 4 pinnacles out of that alone. So sweet. Season the GMs. They've made changes. I'm going to paraphrase this pretty extensively because it's a, you know, it's a big talk about something that affects, you know, a small amount of people. But the drop rate for things like Eyes of Tomorrow and that has been pretty cruel to some people. And I say that as someone who got it pretty early on and didn't realize how fucking cruel it was until I saw people who were like, I've done 60 runs and still haven't got this gun. So now the long and short of what they've done and they've spoken about in the TWAB is that they've changed completions to not be character specific but be account specific. So you aren't running 3 independent pools of runs. You are running one big pool of runs. So there definitely should be a greater frequency of people getting gear like this, and not, you know, I don't know. I can't imagine how frustrating that is. I went through it all the way back in D1. I couldn't get a fate bringer to save my life. I ran Vault like fucking religiously every week and could not get that gun to drop until I think it was like right at the end of Destiny when we went back in and I'm trying to think of what Age of Triumph or whatever it was, when they brought all the raids back. And I'm like, okay, then I got it. And I got 2 drop at once. Like, fuck you, game, just mocking me. But I don't want anyone to have to go through that. So I hope that alleviates the issue. But there is, you know, if you're into the nitty gritty of how they go about resolving these issues, you can absolutely jump into the TWAB and read that. It's good info. Now, the next part of the TWAB, I'm finding slightly disconcerting. We set the precedent a couple of weeks back with the dinos versus monsters armor set voting. Now it's devolved into war. Basically, there is a vote on who is the baddest baddie. Is it a wyvern or is it a taken captain? And this concerns me. It doesn't concern me that we're pitting enemies against each other.
There's an actual vote for it.
There is a vote. Who's the best baddie? Right. This doesn't concern me in the sense of like the ethics of making the baddies of Destiny fight each other. I couldn't give a shit. Like, whatever, go and duke you know, whatever. It's not some kind of unethical cage fight. What I am concerned about is that there will be a definitive answer to this. Which of these two things is more annoying? And I feel like we're going to bump into a hell of a lot more of the thing that's more annoying or harder to deal with or badder in the future. Like, are we going to see wyverns be in Gambit on the fucking podium?
You reckon they're doing a cheeky like survey to see who they should buff?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just for fun, and like it probably is. But me being the suspicious mind that I am, I'm like, what's this about? Could they be canvassing? I don't know. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to tell them nothing. Keep my cards close to my chest.
What do you reckon? Though, what would they? I feel like someone new's got a hold of the fucking marketing account. You know. Because we had
things like this are good. It's good for engagement, and like the Keitel thing was.
We
had
her take over the Twitter, and then we had the voting, and now we've got this.
I don't know. I mean,
it's a little bit less serious. It's a little bit less serious than Bungie normally is, which is good.
I like it. I mean, I do want to know who wins. I mean, personally, I think wyverns are fucking really annoying, just because they do that jump at you, and if you're not prepared for it.
Can you read a bit of lore every now and then, mate, and stop embarrassing everyone?
Why? What?
Why would you say a wyvern would beat a taken captain?
No, I'm not saying it'd beat it. I'm saying that they're more annoying. I guess that's not the question, is it? Which of these is more annoying? I don't know. A taken captain because they throw that shit like the big smog ball at you. Remember when they were the Gambit baddie? Oh my god, like they were annoying as fuck. So definitely the taken captain, really. Yeah, now that I think about it, obviously I haven't really considered this before coming in. I'm just realizing that there's a typo in the TWAB too. There's no Y in wyvern. There's just W-vern. So there you go. Look at that. Attention to detail. That's, you know, the 9 to 5 log through the week, paying attention to detail has just managed to come out on a Saturday. What a disgrace. All right, the other important thing that we've seen this week is Trials. Trials has come back. And everyone's happy about it, except for those who aren't. So cool. And excellent. We've mentioned him already once on the podcast, but Butters, absolute Aussie champion, good dude. Got movie of the week this week. So
real.
Yep, it's good. Go and jump on, check it out. It's good fun. But I, being the biased Australian person that I am, I love seeing our continent mates get up in this sort of stuff. So good on you.
What do you do?
It's a video. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. Go on and watch it. It's fucking great. It's great. It's kind of making
What's
fun.
the topic?
It's making fun around the loading more people into an activity than you should. It's good.
Right.
Good.
Topical.
We came down here as a squad of 9, so kind of taking off Takeo as well and doing that strike. But it's good. It's good.
Right.
Good stuff. And yeah, so that's about it. We blasted through that pretty quick.
Wow, is that it?
Yeah, I mean, look, we can go in and talk about how they've adjusted ghost shells if you want, or the fact that my lion one is now missing because I don't know, all of the Guardian Games ghost shells are bugged, but that's something that they'll fix. So we can talk about that.
Do you know what I brought back to the streams, which was
what other than
love?
Gambling? What?
There was gambling involved.
Right.
Sort of.
Yes. What?
I can't remember what happened. We had a whole bunch of new people in here that were like, tell us lore story. I was like, right, listen here, you little shits. Custom PvP games. Let's go. If I beat you, you get a 24-hour ban, which now has significance because people can't do the Mario Kart gambling or the Marvel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If they get it. But if you beat me, you get a sub. Anyway.
You were gifting people subs if they beat you.
Yeah, I lost them, mate.
You idiot.
I was in the red that day.
Yeah, right. Okay. Won't be doing that again for another 2 months until the coffers
Yeah,
recover.
now you get every day. You're like, oh, can we do that again? Like, no, you don't fucking get that again.
No, fuck no.
No, because you guys are too fucking sweaty.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it was good fun.
No, that's good. That's good. Look, there was patch notes released this week. Obviously, we got the update and all of that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I don't feel like we do our best work when we go through the minutiae of patch notes. We kind of did the preview of it last week. I don't know. Really you're not here for us to read through that sort of stuff. And if you really want to know it, just go and read it yourself. Trust me, it'll be more. You reading yourself will be more enlightening than me and Matt talking about it because we don't even know what it's about half the time. It's terrible. Just a woeful attempt at that. But look, tell me about trials this morning. You haven't played all that much of it in the grand scheme of things. Who'd you play with? How did you go? And Igneous Hammer, Cotton Eye Joe.
Senshi and Adrian I played with this morning.
Saga.
Saga, yeah. Bin Juice, yeah. It was all, like I said, 0 to 3 wins was nice, competitive, evenly matched games. When we played bad, we lost. When we played good, we won. It felt fun.
Yeah, dude.
Post that, like I said during the time, I would have more chances surviving a fucking AC 130 attack because people above 3 wins just fly around the map and just attack from above with stasis. You're like, what the fuck? And we're all dead before we even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that it's kind of like there's still so much of trials is solely luck. And it's solely like, because you come up against a team like that and you're of middling skill like we are, you're fucked. Like there's nothing you can do. Like, you can play, we played fucking Aura in that last week, just managed to match against them and managed to get 1 round off them. And that was the biggest moral victory of all time. But, the second we load in, we know we're not going to win because they're just fucking well outside of our skill range. They move 10 times faster than we do and kind of like play.
The movement is what gets me. Movement is what gets me. That's the single most noticeable factor between the people that are my level and people that are high. You blink and they're fucking way back then. All of a sudden there's a behemoth titan skating his ass off towards you or a wart floofing through the fucking air. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and they all move that quick. And that's the issue. It's one of those things like I can't even keep up. So obviously, I mean, I'm much older than most of the people who slap through this kind of game mode, I guess. So the young whippersnappers, moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour and not missing any shots are almost certainly gonna win.
And look, I do admit now that my opinion on stasis did change with high level players.
Oh yeah.
Because they were just they're flying through the fucking air, suck nade, shurikens. Like you're like, hey, it's just my fucking boomer eyes trying to keep up, see where they are. And you're like, all of a sudden you're sucked, frozen.
Yeah, what
dead.
have you
Like,
got? What have you got? That and like trials by the nature of it is, like you kind of get a bit formulaic in the way that you approach rounds. So after they've played a couple rounds against you, they like as not can figure out, okay, well, they're going to probably be either here or here. And they can throw fucking, especially the bloody dusk shard grenades or whatever they are that with the suck. You've got no hope. It was really annoying last week. That was what was bringing us unstuck a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, it's, I did that. We could use it. Did you use the
We managed to trick a team into thinking we were good because I did a suck nade and a shuriken, froze both of them, and then we just zoomed towards them, got the round like instantly, and then for the next 3 rounds they just threw themselves off the edge. 4 rounds.
Wow.
They're just like, nah, dog, I'm out.
I think it's one of those things that like I don't shit talk people who are really good at it because there's an art to it. Like trials is a different beast again. Elimination is a different beast again to literally anything that Destiny offers.
That game mode, man. It's like
so sweaty and it's
different.
so high stakes. But admittedly, last week I had a round where it was 4-4 and I knocked over 2 dudes right at the end to win the game. I think Adrian did the same thing. And it's the moments like that where you feel like a fucking absolute god that managed to pull it out, and win for your team. I think that's the stuff that really makes that mode. And that's the stuff that like, you can go weeks and not have those moments happen. But I really, that's what I live for. That and the igneous hammer.
The thing is, like, I don't think
I just want the gun.
I had a lot of fun. It was just when the skill gap got so high that it obviously doesn't get fun. And I just think typically trials hasn't had a big population. So, that's an issue. But when you put in something like the hand cannon for 3 wins and the population gets bumped up, I actually had a lot of fun in there. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, and that's it. And like last week, I think it was sort of indicative of the same thing because, up until 5 wins, where the hand cannon was, funnily enough, we were getting games that were winnable and, fun. And maybe we got one game that was just well out of our league. But for the most part, it felt like people just jumping in and having a go. And then you get to 5 wins and it was like fucking brick wall. We've been zooming along and then fucking no. We were joking going, oh yeah, look, we're two wins from flawless, boys. Yeah, let's go. And then just it was like that, the meme of, oh, we're going to play until we lose one and then instantly lose one and fuck off to bed. It felt a bit like that. But I don't know, dude. I think that this week there'll be a similar vibe, and I hope that's the way it is. But I do think that it does seem funny to me that the hand cannon, which is probably the thing people are chasing hardest out of it, beyond maybe messenger and the armor for the stuff. And look, the armor, especially for the Titan, is incredible. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I feel like maybe we're going to see them put a lot of this loot at the front end of the card. And then I've just got this sort of like feeling that trials is probably not going to be around for super long. I feel like it's there's been a lot of issues with it of late. It's the target of a lot of what is wrong with Destiny at the moment in terms of hacking and all that sort of stuff. I feel like there's definitely something going on behind the scenes of thinking about rethinking it, and they've spoken to that in Joe Blackburn's sort of missive a month back. So I think if you're interested in the gear, definitely get in and get it. Crocodile themed gear for the Titan, snake themed gear for the Hunter, bin chicken themed gear for the Warlock.
Wait, what's this for?
They're themed because I didn't realize this, but we share a lot of animals in common with Egypt. right? And that's obviously where they're drawing the inspiration for this lot of armor, and always have with trials, really.
Wait, is there new armor in the TWAB?
No, it was the first time I'd seen the Titan arms in person, like actually got my hands on them. They have crocodiles on them. They are incredible. There is the Hunter snake stuff looks great. The Warlock class item literally has an ibis on it, a fucking bin chicken.
Bin chicken, right.
Bin chicken. So I kind of want it now on my Warlock.
Just where Warlocks belong, in the trash.
In the bin, yeah. In the bin, drinking bin juice and eating offal. There you go. Inclusive podcast, though. Good stuff.
No, there's no Warlocks left, man. We scared all the Warlocks off a lot. The only Warlocks still here are extremely resilient to Warlock jokes.
I know, right?
They're actually very good people.
Ardent, tough people. I saw people trying to tag Bife into like defending Warlocks after our episode last week. I can't remember what we said. It must have been bad. So, like whatever. But I mean, Bife obviously deployed his common sense and just went, I'm not touching that with a 40-foot pole. They're idiots. Billy. We're letting Billy in.
Scared.
Well, you got thunder and lightning going on.
Gone, and she's scared of the aircon, so now the dog's here.
Scared of aircon? That's very un-Australian.
Oh, it's because it blows the doors. They bang and stuff.
And they move. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. You need to get like the little pad things and sort it out, Matt. For God's sake, get down to Bunnings. Come on.
Can you imagine me at Bunnings? Just for a second, imagine.
It'd be fucking hilarious. Just.
I'm not a Bunnings kind of person, mate.
Yeah, right. Oh, look. I think it's time we can jump into talking a little bit about lore. What do you reckon? You want to talk Glykon?
Oh, yeah, and that's actually why I was that's why I was stalling before. I was bringing up the lore script, and then we went into trials talk.
Mate, I threw you a bone. There you go. All right, so lay it on me, Matt. Tell me about it. So are we talking Dead Man's Tale, or are we talking the Glykon and the activities itself?
It's all one and the same.
Cool. All right. I've deliberately not watched any videos or anything because I was stubbornly waiting for Matt to explain it to me in person.
Right. So the hunter you see at the end. Can everyone fuck off? Don't they know I'm doing a bloody podcast right now?
I don't care, man.
Bloody rude.
You saw my youngest barge in here last week. No one gives a shit. It's like no one takes podcasts seriously.
No one respects the art.
Yeah.
Right? We were doing podcasts before everyone had a podcast. You know what I mean?
Were we? I mean,
look,
we didn't beat Joe Rogan to it, but we've been at it for a while. I don't know. 210 episodes, more than 4 years at this point. So respect the art.
Right.
I feel like calling a podcast where we turn up and just talk shit art is a step.
Mate, yeah, but people fucking put an umbrella on the floor and call that art. So let's be real here. Okay, anyway,
we're getting in the eye of the beholder. Go, quick, move on, quick.
So the hunter at the end of Dead Man's Tale, that's all
Spore
tied
boy.
up with what?
Spore boy.
Yes. Who has the Dead Man's Tale? The book. The law book, Captain's Log, which I always think of you log because it's got log in the name.
Yeah, I know.
Captain's Log.
I mean, one step worse than that though, like Dead Man that we play with all the time. What? Imagine that, like your name being one of the guns. How annoying that would be. Specifically popular gun too. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's the origin story to how he got there. Okay, how he ended up in the Glykon. So the book starts with this hunter, Catabasis,
Catabasis, I would have gone for, like catabatic wind. Anyway.
I went with Catabasis. Chat said Catabasis, which I think sounds better too.
Look, I'm going to allow it. Just this once.
We'll call him Steve.
Steve. Right.
Steve.
Yes. Right.
So Steve joins Callus, the real Callus, by the way,
Okay.
on the Leviathan
Right.
and says, I'm here to accept the job. In that moment, he actually sees the real Callus, who is, I don't know, imagine any supervillain, you know, like supervillains that have like some really bad disease and they're like they're like, it's any anime
what about
supervillain.
Snoke from fucking Star Wars?
Snoke's good example.
Right.
Or
Okay.
bloody Harry Pothead. What's his name?
Voldemort.
Voldemort. No.
I mean,
Okay.
Voldemort looks fine. His nose just fell off. That's not that bad. Really?
No, but when he's a fucking baby, can you read a book every now and then? When he's a baby, you loser. When he's like,
Read kids' books? Fucking hell.
anyway,
Yeah.
Callus looks all sorts of fucked up. Okay, different shades of that.
And that's alarming, given that he basically looked like fucking Krang in a bodysuit anyway. So he looks worse than that.
Yeah. So you like,
Fuck me.
that's him in his pinnacle form. So imagine him what he looks like normally. So he's in this cage, and what they're actually doing is they're using the planet juice, the purple stuff. That's what keeps him alive.
Oh,
so he's in this like life support system, and his robots are pouring the juice into it, right? Keeping him alive.
Okay.
So it gives us our first insight into what Callus looks like, because we previously haven't known or don't know
no idea,
if he was even still around.
Yep.
Then the hunter Steve accepts the job, just described as a job. And we work out that the job is actually to steal the Glykon, the ship, from Nessus, I believe.
Okay.
Doesn't really explain why. Apparently there's a Cabal shipyard on Nessus, and their job is to get in there and to steal the Glykon. So Steve leads a team of Cabal, which includes a scion named Quinzik and a Cabal centurion named Barto, short for Bartoran, I think. They get the Glykon. You're like, okay, so why do they want the Glykon? They use the Glykon, which is apparently a pretty impressive Cabal ship. It's like an Imperial. Some names are just good. It's like an Imperial War cruiser or something like that. It's just a good fucking name. Do you know what I mean? It's a good fucking name.
Yeah.
It's a big boy ship, big girl ship. Doesn't matter. It's a big ship. Anyway, they steal it. It's a flagship. And they're meant to harvest Scorn from the reef, bring them aboard the ship for experimentation.
Charming. Yeah.
Charming. So you're thinking, why do they want to do that for? Why do they want Scorn? Quinzik, the scion, says, oh, look at this, right? And they've got a Scorn there for experimentation. And because the Scorn technically have darkness-infused ether, apparently that makes their connection to the darkness a bit easier to communicate with. So the scions, using their telepathy, can invite the darkness into the Scorn to have communion, basically.
Right.
It's like an empty vessel for them to make contact with the darkness. And they do this through a combination of the Crown of Sorrows, which Callus reclaims, and using scions. Okay. And the whole stick is that Callus feels like he's been cheated on by the darkness, because when he went into exile, he said he saw the darkness. And ever since the pyramids came back, they've been ignoring him. So he's fucking cranky. He is a grade A Tinder stalker who went on one date and was like, yo, why you never call me back?
Yep.
Yes.
Went into exile. Yeah, wow.
Yes.
He's a fucking
why you no call back?
Callus is a reply guy, more or less. That's where.
Why you no call back? I've seen it. Okay. I see that you've seen my message and you haven't responded.
Left on red.
Okay.
Sad about it. Okay.
Left unread. So he wants to make contact with the darkness, and the way they're doing that is through the scorn to make communion. So Callus also boards the Glykon. So they got the scorn, they got Hunter Steve, they got the troops that are running the Glykon, and they got Callus there to try and make contact with the darkness.
How does does it explain how fucked up Callus got there? Like, how fucked up is he? He walk around then, obviously.
He can walk around, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. There's a good call. Bit of a continuity area.
They got a really long hose for him to just to drink his darkness juice.
I sort of imagine that he like gets moments of health from the from the purple juice, and then he would have to go back to his like life support system and that.
Yep.
So he's there. And they park the ship on Phobos or near Phobos because do you remember when all the planets just disappeared?
Yeah, of course.
Well, you know, this is basically black holes where they used to be.
Yeah.
There's these anomalies. And so they believe that, you know, if they get nice and close to the anomaly where Mars used to be, it's probably a good place to phone home, essentially.
Yep.
Call the darkness.
Yep.
Intergalactic phone call. They do that. They have a lot of failed experiments, but one of them seems to work. It definitely hints at that they make contact with the darkness because one of the scorns talks about salvation. And Callus just disappears. Like we don't know what happened. Just gone. And the way that it describes it is, and it is difficult to know exactly what's happening. But did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah, of course.
So you know how there's like an upside down world?
Callus is in the upside down.
Yeah, you know there's an upside down world?
Yeah.
And everything looks the same, but it's like it's literally looks like the Glykon with all the darkness tentacles.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Now that you say it.
It sort of describes it like that. So it describes them going into a different reality, but they're still aboard the Glykon. So they're in the Glykon, but they talk about being in a different reality, basically. They talk about reality being torn apart and all this kind of shit. And in that reality, it is honestly like the upside down. The Scorn are like uber powerful, and they basically keep being reanimated by the darkness. So they're like trapped. So now everyone aboard the Glykon are basically trapped with all the Scorn.
Trapped in the upside down with God mode Scorn.
Trapped in the upside down, right? And their way out of the upside down is to try to reverse engineer through the Crown of Sorrows using the Scions again and try to reset it somehow. So it's they don't really explain what this world is. It could be like almost like a throne world, taken world. Like it's still the Glykon, but also reality like changes on there too. So Steve talks about like the ship like changing, almost like a dream. Like, you know, like the whole fucking thing, like corridors just change on him, and he gets lost aboard it and has to re-find his way through the Glykon. So it's like this sort of different world sort of deal. So they have this last tier effort, like fucking Harry Potter holding onto a portal key, and they try to yeet back into their reality, right? So they're basically standing back to back with the Crown of Sorrow there. They've got the Scions there. They're trying to just reverse, get out of this space.
Yep.
And they'll die.
They all die.
Spoilers. They'll die.
Well,
anticlimactic. So eventually,
do they manage to get the Glykon back? Is that what? Like,
no, I don't know how the fuck that works. I don't know how Glykon gets back to us. If it all, but this is why I say it's like the upside down, because it's still there. There's just another flip side of the coin.
Yeah,
but then again,
maybe it's like, when we go through Taken parts, and it's sort of the same space, but it's the alternate version.
Yes,
similar thing.
It's sort of like that.
Okay.
But when they went to the upside down, that's when like all the darkness spores grow.
Right. I mean, they're there when. Yeah. Growed. It's definitely grew.
Actually, by the
It's
way.
definitely grew. Growed.
Growing.
They done a big grow.
The darkness spell's done a big grow.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what it looks like to us. So I don't know what I don't understand how that works. And you know, fuck, if you disagree with me, go read your book yourself, right? So but eventually Steve's ghost brings him back to life.
Right. Okay.
And he's aboard the Glykon and essentially just running through the air vents as the Glykon keeps changing shapes, and he's just trying to escape the Scorn, basically. And the pinnacle Scorn, which is the boss in the mission, is it's actually talking with all the dead voices as well. He's the one who talks to the dead voices. So
it's very dark, isn't it? For like, I mean, we've seen horrific shit alluded to in Destiny's history for sure. Yeah. This is right up there, really.
Oh, yeah, this gets darker. This is definitely not T for teen. This is like mature audiences only.
This is
because
keep your light on at night because your shit's scared.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure because it's like the upside down, like time is different as well. So he's not quite sure how long it's been, but he gets to the point where he starts dying of hunger, and he can't find his way out. He's just lost in this place. And every time he finds something, this wave of darkness reanimates the Scorn and changes the Glykon. So he's in this fucking maze basically, and dying of starvation. And so he says to his ghost, Gilgamesh, we'll call, what's the Australian G name?
Greg. Gilly. I mean, obviously Adam Gilchrist.
Gilly's good. Oh, Gilly. Yeah, straight up, Gilly.
Oh, look,
Gilly.
Yeah, he'd definitely do the voice if this ever needs to be animated for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, he says to Gilly, "Don't res me until we find a way home."
That's a lot of responsibility.
Let me die. Right? A lot of responsibility. The ghost, we don't know how much time passes. The ghost eventually reses him. He's like, "What are you doing?" "I told you not." And the ghost is like, "You don't think that I suffer while you hide in your limbo? You know, I'm basically trapped in this world and you're just fucking having a nap." Okay? Yeah. And then the ghost mentions, "I don't want survival. I want salvation."
Oh.
And so Steve's like, "It got to you, didn't it?" Steve pulls out fucking Dead Man's Tail, caps his ghost.
Sad. I mean, it's wow.
That's how it ends. And then we assume that Steve dies.
We find him looking like one of those ants with fungus in it.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Adam Gilchrist is the correct choice. Not a very good bloke after all. Gilly the ghost.
It's a story of suicide.
Yeah, I mean, in a roundabout way, but
murder suicide.
Is that the first time we've seen that it's literally turned a ghost? Like the darkness can literally turn a ghost? Is that
maybe? Initially, I thought you were talking about Guardians shooting ghosts. We had Dredgen kill their ghosts.
Yeah, but he went the other way because he was becoming very dark, and the ghost was a hindrance, or like sort of nagging at him. That's it's
a good story. And the thing is, so when you go and do the scans, the lore scans, they're all the bits and pieces that you hear as you go a long way. You'll hear parts of that story.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we've actually heard the gunshot one already. We've had that as a scannable, I think, where he shoots it. You actually got the ending really early on. I think it was like week 2 or something.
Yep, it works its way back around in classic Destiny fashion. That's I don't know. Yeah. It's a very dark. Destiny's at its best when it does this stuff though. Like that space is fucking creepy. It's menacing, and like the ghost at the end, the guardian at the end, Steve, just with that's probably the most unsettling thing I've seen in game in Destiny, with his literal body strung up by spores or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I mean, as much as like no one has treated him with respect when we've got there, because everyone's trying to jump up on his dead body and put orbs and super up there and whatever. Pretty dark.
I mean, with a gun called Dead Man's Tale, you were going to have to make it pretty epic.
Yeah, true. That and the gun itself is incredible. So they've definitely nailed that component of it too. Look, what we might do, we might open up chat, and if anyone's got any questions, stuff they want to talk about related to this or otherwise, you're more than welcome to do so. But look, I don't know. I mean, fuck, that's kind of got me off guard. I didn't realize it was that dark. I kind of, moseyed my way through it and assumed that is this silly guardian that got in and dug too deep into darkness stuff and got screwed over. But I didn't realize the implications. But like, I knew Callus was involved, but I didn't really. I'm glad that now.
Yeah, it drops a whole bunch of bombshells on Callus, and it's like
where the fuck is Callus now?
It's a story.
Did the darkness kind of just take him back or something? I don't.
Well, that's the interesting part because we hear Callus's voice as well. So he's as a dead person. Remember? So we get Sakira, we get Cade, we get other voices through the boss
that are dead,
who is speaking on the behalf of the dead. So Callus is definitely not Callus anymore, but he could be something else.
Don't we get Aldrin as well? Is it Aldrin?
Yeah,
or is
exactly.
It Crow?
So very similar to how because Aldrin's dead.
Is Aldrin?
Yeah, well, Aldrin's dead, but we've got the Crow now. He's been reborn as the Crow. So that Aldrin died, the Crow was reborn.
Yeah, well, okay. But was he I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention.
Yeah, with Aldrin's voice. Yeah.
But was he speaking as Aldrin, not as the Crow?
Oh, I can't remember what he says.
Okay. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. We won't.
But when you break it down, I mean, this is what I thought about. Anyway, I just thought it's a story about depression and suicide.
Yeah, it's very dark.
You have
in that context,
guardian that loses the will to live.
Desperation.
That entire world around them is constantly changing. They can't find their way. They're literally and metaphorically surrounded by the darkness, and they just want to go to sleep.
That's pretty horrible.
It's pretty fucking heavy. It's pretty fucking heavy.
What, honestly, I think the one shame in all this is, and obviously it's, like a new activity and you've got to get in there and experience and all of that. But I think if you knew all this shit going in, imagine how much more intimidating that activity becomes. Right.
See, that's what I keep saying to people because people think it's spoilers, and I think no. I think it complements the game.
Yeah,
I think knowing the stuff beforehand makes it better.
If you knew up to the point that he shot the ghost and then you didn't know what happened after that, and you go all the way through that mission and find him at the end.
You saw at the end.
Yeah, like that's like, oh my god, there's so much weight. But
I mean,
how do you govern that? How do you introduce the significant lore before an activity even starts? I don't know. I'd love to see them try and telegraph something like that in content to come.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a
is everyone down now? Is
I am. I'm genuinely down. Fucking hell. That and my dog just barking and carrying on out the back. Silly mutt.
Muttley.
Wow.
Well, there you go. It was the full video. It's a big video. I think it's probably 20 minutes long. So if you want more details, it's up on the channel and you can listen listen to it nicely.
Revisit it because I mean, look, I deliberately left it because I'm like, I want to talk about it at some point because I think sometimes me being the naive moron and going, oh well, what's this, and asking you all the questions, it leads to a better sort of segment. So I play ignorant. I don't do playing ignorant well. I just do being ignorant well. So we'll do that from now on. But yeah, holy fuck, that is dark. That is dark. All right, well, look, you're not got a video on this week, so there's nothing coming. So.
No video this week, and I actually think I might make a commentary video on this sort of general topic of is Destiny doing a good job of telling the story? Because I saw Shillup say that Destiny storytelling is the best it's ever been. Right?
I agree though. I agree with him. I don't know. I mean, we can have that conversation right now if you want, because then I can tell you why. But
Well, yeah, I'm interested in the points because I see it from this point of view, right? So one of the issues is exactly what you said. I It can go either way, right? You play the mission, you see the ending, you go read the book. Oh, now you get it. Now when you replay it, it has more meaning. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's in how it's intended because you're not meant to get all the lore, right? It's
Yeah.
drip fed you each time. I feel like the issue is people don't have the stamina to read drip fed lore. People want to get it.
I agree.
People want to bang it out straight away.
As someone who 100% does not have stamina to like, I will look at things as they're presented to me, maybe twice. You know, like I've done that. I've done Presage 3 or maybe 4 times. So yeah, of me, that statement would be true, but I don't think that's specifically what he's referring to. I think what he's talking about and what I agree with him about is the way that they've structured the storytelling in the seasonal content. It is
with Aldrin.
It is
the Crow.
It is vastly superior to anything we've seen implemented in the past.
Tell me which parts are superior.
I think that it's look. I'm not saying that it's the most engrossing story in the history of the franchise because it's certainly not. And there's parts of it that are like, you know, I roll my eyes a little bit at the Crow and stuff like that. But the way that it's stepped out so that, you know, if you're doing it every week and you're invested in it, it's kind of like a weekly TV show that you go through and you do your tasks and you get your feed of narrative and, you know, voiced cutscenes or voiced.
Yeah, you do, right? So you get there's definitely more in-game voice in cutscenes.
Yep.
So on the helm, you see them interact. You see Crow interact with Osiris.
Yep.
You also get these little hologram things that they're doing.
Yep.
Then you get the text dialogue on top of that. And then you get these like intermediate cutscenes where we have like these ink comic books.
Yeah.
Which I think are just super effective. And I can't imagine them costing a huge amount of resources because they're sketches that are put to voice over, you know, in the scheme of like cutscene to like text dialogue, they probably sit, you know, in between as a resource. But I mean, my issue is I don't like doing battlegrounds. So because I don't want to do that. Am I missing out on story? Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Look, and you are. I think that's probably where it falls down a little bit. But the fact that you can go in and like make up ground and not miss anything, I think is really strong. I think like in terms of the way they've managed to have things that is like a weekly fucking periodic sort of drop and then go, cool, if you're behind, you can go and catch it all up. Then it's sweet. I like the way that they've done that. I don't know. I mean, I think what you're talking about really comes back more to the strength of the activity than anything else. I think Battlegrounds are a bit of a chore, you know, and, you know, be that as it may, you know, like they're kind of like light strikes and I don't particularly like strikes. So it's, you know, kind of dead in the pan for me, but I don't know. I think that the actual implementation of the story and getting that sort of drip feed as it comes out, that's short enough that people are going to pay attention to it because it's normally the first thing you do every week. Good. So I think in that respect, I definitely agree with what he said. Do I think it could be stronger? Hell yeah. But I mean, I would have said that last season too, and this is definitely stronger than that. So it's a step in the right direction. And I would hope that like things like this, now that they know that they work and now that they know that people are more engaged with them than they have been in the past, that they can use them to telegraph something like the Glykon, like what we were just talking about. That maybe it could be something that's mentioned intermittently, or you know that it's going to be coming later on, much like what they're doing, building towards the narrative of the strike, where we actually, I assume, face Keitel, right? You know, it's sort of like now the dialogue of the weekly stuff was around, well, challenging Keitel and obviously sending us against her because we're the fucking best of the best, right? So,
I haven't seen it yet. Right, is that what this week is?
Spoiler alert, yeah. I feel like that is definitely the most organic entrance we've got to a piece of content so far.
Sure. Okay.
So it makes sense.
The lead up.
Yeah, there is a genuine lead up to it, and it's a strike that, like a lot of people, when the season started, it was like announced, oh, you don't get the strike till halfway through the season. And everyone's like, well, fucking why? This is why. And it makes sense, and I like it. And I think that it's definitely something they should look to do in future seasons, even though it means we don't get all of the stuff straight out of the gate. And that's fine. I think it's a good implementation of that. Because, we're going to be doing it for fucking forever after it. So you might as well, build to it. And I hope it's epic. I feel like it's sort of the logical conclusion of all of that stuff. And then we'll sort of get half a season where people can go through and catch up if they want. I don't think there's going to be too much closeout after that. So, yeah. I don't know. That's my take. But it is what it is.
I got nothing else to add. I was just thinking, you know what? Danny's out. I'm going to play more Destiny, and how fucking odd is that? I'm going to jump back on.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to do your fucking thing, or are you going to do trials?
Oh, we don't have any friends to play fucking trials with, mate. I'm probably going to
Go on. All right.
Well, you gonna get on, mate.
No, I got Buckley's, mate. I got the kids. I can hear them. They're out there running around. I can hear vacuuming going on. I'm definitely going to get roped into something the second I walk out of this room. So, it's going to happen. Yeah. So, what we might do, we might wrap up there. We'll raid out. But, Maddie, what are you? You're not planning anything this week. Fuck. Oh yeah.
No, what do we do? It was a bad joke. Oh, I don't have any bad jokes
today. You don't have any bad jokes. Look, the end of the podcast has been very free form of late. I'll say that. We've tried a lot of different things. I don't think anything has stuck particularly. So I don't know. What are you feeling anything? Have you got anything you want to try?
YouTube history. We haven't done that in a while.
You're going to read your own YouTube history?
No, you put you on the spot. What's the most recent video?
All mine's boring shit. Like in this context, boring? But it's all just either music production stuff or like guitar sims and shit.
Wait, when we're doing like a drama thing, do we have anyone to bitch about at the end?
Yeah, we were going to bitch about. I don't have anyone to bitch about at the moment. I'm kind of. I found peace in my life.
It's because you got fucking igneous hammer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm going to get 6 more shots at getting a decent roll tonight. So I'm just happy as a pig in shit. I've got nothing to complain about except having a really fucking sore arm. If I'm going to complain about anything, it is shoulder joints.
I mean, it's not really a joke, but I think a lot of people relate to it. Where you're doing a piece of work like a PhD,
yep,
or like an assignment,
yep.
You've written a good amount, and then the supervisor is like, "Yo, you need to build this up." Well, they don't say "yo" because they're boring. They say, "You need to excuse me, young Padawan. You need to build this up. You need to add more references. You need to make this more. You need to make this better. To do some more data collection." And then you say, "Yes, master." And then they say a couple of weeks later, "You're 2 pages over the limit for publication. Why would you do such a thing?" End the show.
Look, what we might do is on that note, we're going to gamble in true Myland Games fashion. Will Matt finish his PhD or not?
Wait, can you make a prediction that goes a week?
No, but everyone can just write in the comments and shit, and I'll read them, and I'll let you know whether or not people believed in you next week. All right. Okay.
I'm either going to be an absolute loose cannon next week, or I'll still be stressed.
Beautiful. Look, I know which one I'm hoping for, but until then, thank you for hanging out, and just, I don't know, have a good week. All right, bye. That was way too fucking wholesome. I'm disappointed with how wholesome that.
Yeah, fucking delete the whole VOD. Yeah, delete everything.
This episode
Pretend
will never be aired. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it after we finish talking about the Glykon, because it's just a sour note. Just end it there. That's what we're doing. All right, get fucked.